Welcome, boys and girls. Tonight is, I believe, another episode of the Cousin Donnie and Uncle Jimmy show. We are to have Ray Czarnik tonight on the show. Going to talk a little bit about major softball as a whole, talk a little bit about what Ray has done over the last 20 years in softball, and then also talk a little bit about
Hey.
what's up, Donnie. Just letting the people know. Oops, hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Just letting everyone know about what we're doing tonight. Was talking a little bit about the A Nationals.
Yep.
Talked a little bit about this weekend. I know we have the Dells tournament this weekend. There's another co-ed tournament going on this weekend, or actually a memorial tournament, I was told, this weekend. So we've got a lot of softball. And how you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. I had a good day today. I realize I wear this Papa Hop shirt a lot on our show.
Really?
Yeah. This is definitely if we've done 6 shows, I probably wore this on 4 of the shows. So, I like to represent that I've played softball before.
Absolutely. I mean, well, when you play for Iron, you don't have to represent, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
people
incredible.
Know.
So, but you know what I did last week? I was a little jealous of you. Last week, you had a nice haircut. So
Yeah.
Uncle Jimmy went and got a little buzz cut, boy. Look
Come
at
on,
looking good. So
Jimmy, put that hat back on.
I did. Don't worry, I did. It's right back on. But just want to give a little shout out to the Oakton Owls. My boy Tony Starosevich.
Tony, that's my guy.
Before your day, I know he used to run Wallace.
I was on the team when Tony coached.
Yes. So Tony was kindly enough to send me a shirt. Thank him. So I figured I'd represent it and basically get moving forward with it, which is nice. Just give them, if you have any girls out there that are looking to play, I believe, a JUCO college basketball, yep. Tony's your man.
Tony's a good coach. He's kind of turning that program around. I know he left a lot of stuff behind going to coach. He's made a big sacrifice to kind of put the best product out there. Jimmy, really quick, we got a good comment from John Doss.
Oh,
Some of you may know him. Possibly going single elimination at Forest Park ending Saturday. Could be a huge Saturday. What are your thoughts, Jimmy? I know you've got thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, we're going to get into that a little bit with Ray.
Okay.
But, I would love the idea. I mean, think about it, right? It's something that we've always talked about. I think I'll get into more details when Ray gets on.
Go ahead. Why don't we invite Ray on now and we'll see what he's got to say. I know he's got some pretty cool stuff to talk about. But like you mentioned, while you text Ray, I'll talk about this weekend. We've got a pretty fun tournament in Wisconsin Dells. I know I'll be out there with the majority of the Iron guys playing in that one.
Yeah.
Staying in Danny's cabin. So
we might have a special show for all the fans.
That would be fun. That would be if we got the right time and place for it.
Right, exactly. We might have a special show, and I think that this weekend it might be a incredible time to do it. So you and I might be having some cocktails.
A couple drinks, maybe a couple cocktails. I saw Scotty Czarnik is watching. And I wanted to know what does Scotty have to ask for Ray? What's something Scotty's always wanted to ask Ray but never could muster up the courage and now wants Jimmy Moretti to do?
Right. Exactly. So I mean, that's awesome. That's a great quote, Donnie. But let's try to get Ray on the phone because I've invited him now. So he just got the invite sent to him. So hopefully he can figure it out.
You have to help him out. You have to help the big guy out here.
Yeah, he's got to go to his personal notifications and take care of it for us. Oh, look at this. Since we're talking about Forest Park, Mr. John Dawson, here is a nice, loving mug from the Forest Park tournament.
I think this is this year's.
I got a little cocktail in there, as you can imagine.
This is 55th annual. You off work tomorrow, Jim?
I am not. I actually have work tomorrow.
I didn't know you worked.
Yeah, I work. I do a little commercial banking for BMO Harris.
Yeah.
Well, we're not called BMO Harris anymore. We're called BMO. We got rid of the Harris part.
Cool.
So that's my full-time job, and then I'm doing my little thing. I'm building that bar and my little project out in Shorewood that I've been working on now for quite some time. So
how's the Dome coming along?
The Dome's doing good. I think my cousin's moved his travel organization inside, which, since we're talking about it, the GoPro. There's the new GoPro hat, or one of his hats that he's using for his travel organization. Might as well get a little prep, if you can imagine.
There's
So,
Ray. He says I'm
Ray,
here. We gotta join with video, Ray. If you can check the notifications from Jimmy.
yep, I just sent it to him. So hopefully it says it's adding him now. So hopefully he can add.
There he is.
And there he
There's our
is, my
guy.
man.
All right, boys.
Shooter Nation.
Shooter Nation, boys. Shooter Nation.
How
What's
we
up,
doing,
Ray?
Ray?
Hey, I didn't know I was on the late night show. I like it.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
it's
you know, since all the writers are on strike, we've decided to go late night ourselves. You know
This
what I
is
mean?
yeah, no.
this is the rated R version, Ray. You only get the late night specials for you.
That's
Hey,
right.
listen. Hey, anytime I get on, man, I'm excited to be with you guys. So we're okay.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So, Ray, why don't you tell us a little bit about this eggs tournament? I know you and I have been talking a little bit about it offline. Why don't we tell some of the people that are going to be watching tonight, what it's about, how it started, and kind of some background behind it.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, my brother Tom. I mean, for those that don't know, I mean, he was a very good softball player and well known out there, Hall of Famer. Played on the top teams. He passed away of diabetes in 2011, and he was 58 years old. And since then, I wanted to find a way to, keep him in the game because he was into the game so much his whole life, and it was, he lived and breathed softball. I mean, back in the day, and competitive, and like all of us are. And so I sat down with the SSA, who was newly formed then, and we put together an eggs tournament, and we started it in 2011. And it's grown over the years. We've
Sure.
had some better years than not, and I sponsored that predominantly during the year to keep it going and to help the teams be able to afford it. I don't want to make it where they can't afford it. I always wanted to make it affordable and give these eight players an opportunity to play in the tournament.
Right. Now, you mentioned sponsor. I know you've been a huge supporter of 16 in softball. Talk a little bit about, I think you've recently just retired. I know you're still got your foot in the water a little bit over at Napleton, but talk a little bit about what you do. So, maybe people are looking to buy a car.
Well,
They know they can come to you.
yeah, I'm the president general manager of Napleton for 30 years, and I retired a year ago. But I'm going to tell you, my customers have kept me in the game still. So I'm going down there once, twice a week
Sure.
to handle customers that are personally getting a hold of me. And the softball community has been unbelievable throughout my whole career. And I can't turn my back on them. And Napletons will continue to support to sponsor it as long as, it's going in the right direction, Jimmy. And that's, what we want to talk about is just, I don't mind putting money out there, but we got to keep the game going
Yep.
a different way. So,
Absolutely. Donnie, what do you? I know you got a quick question.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I want to.
I see the hat, of course, right? We love shooter softball here. We're big fans of the team. I know your son and I, we talk about softball, back and forth a lot. So what's next for shooters this upcoming season? What do you got planned?
Well, you know what? We had a pretty tough year. We did some changing around. We got a lot of young kids, first time playing out at Forest Park, which is great for them. We gave
Yep.
them opportunity. Um, we ended the year strongly in the ASA Nationals. The glove tournament. We came in third place. You beat a team like High Y, and even though they went under a different name, it competed against them.
Sure.
Lost to BTA twice. So to come behind the 45s and BTA and be in the same sentences with High Y, that to me it was a great finish for the year for us.
I mean, and
So,
I know you had a bunch of young guys like you mentioned. Obviously High Y won the SSA Major National. And for you guys to finish third in that tournament, like you mentioned, to beat High Y, that's a good step in the right direction. I know what you guys went through from the previous year to this year. I know last year you guys were very competitive and probably
right.
were a top 10 team mostly, if not the whole year last year. So this year, I know you guys, like you mentioned, picked up some younger guys. How did it seem to gel with some of the guys that were there before? I know that that's usually can be
Yeah.
a little frustrating, but at the same time, you have to give it time.
Well, you know what? The biggest thing is, Scotty, my son, Keenan, my son, my son-in-law. I mean, they're the heart and soul of the team, and I kind of, look at their direction and their lead to get the players and get the kids that they can play with. And again, we've gone the route where a lot of older veterans and they're stuck in their ways, and some of the things they do aren't the right way to do things. With the young kids, they don't understand it, so to be around a team that's the same age group and let them grow together.
Right.
That's key with me. And, definitely more teams should be doing that. I mean, more than, taking guys from other teams and, taking the young talent. I mean, to me, it's, play with your friends and enjoy the game.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's, I think that's a huge piece to softball as a whole, right? I mean, we talk about growing the game. We talk a lot about enhancing what we do and the amount of time we put into this
Yeah.
game, as you can imagine. So
Let me
that's only,
ask really quick,
yep.
Ray. How has that changed? How has the recruiting process changed since you've kind of gone through? And I know you've had some teams in the past, and now you almost got to look around for other people to do it for you. What's that process been like? Maybe 20 years ago to now.
Well, you know what? The big deal was 20 years ago that the players stayed on the teams.
Yeah.
I mean, we brought some young kids in, last 4 or 5 years, and we've lost, here you come in third place in the no glove, nationals at Forest Park,
Yeah.
and you lose your, a couple of your players to other teams. And I just can't figure it out. I mean, what they're promised and what ends up. I mean, I've seen kids that, are in their early 20s, and then they go to these, the bigger major teams. They sit on a bench and they play once in a while, and and then they lose interest in the game and they end up going somewhere else anyway. So, to me, it's if the recruiting would be, hey, you know what, get the kids, let them stay on your team, and let them prove themselves for a few years. And that's what I like. I do with our guys. I don't go out there and steal kids from any team.
Right.
To me, it's stupid. I mean, come on, go out there and enjoy yourself. It's a game. Be competitive with your own friends. And
Yep.
what do you want to be at 20? Listen, when the Eggs was playing and he was older, and we had guys 20 years old, they go on that team, and then and they sit on a bench for during the tournaments and that. What but then they come back to our team at the shooters. They just use them for the tournaments. So it was a
Yeah.
different game back then.
It was completely different. I mean, it's so different from when I started to now. I mean, just with social media and the platforms and a lot of things that everybody just knows what everybody's doing nowadays, unfortunately. And it's crazy because there's so many other things you got to compete with now. I mean, if you look back at some of those old pictures you mentioned 20 years ago, even 30 years ago, I mean, those stands are packed at Mount Prospect. And that's one of the best parks. I still say it's one of the best parks for 16 in softball. I wish they would fix those lights because that park is just so perfect for the game. The fences, everything about it. It's just a really nice complex the way it lays out. I know you were kind of big about that too. So, do you not miss Mount Prospect a little bit,
Oh my
right?
God, and again, you talk to Keenan and Scotty. I mean, we played our first couple of years there with them.
Right. Right.
They love that park, and when you've been there, and it had so much history, Jimmy. I mean, too. I mean,
Yep.
the history there, and I remember going in there playing our first tournament as a shooter team, and you got player passes to get in. They check you at the door.
Right.
I mean, it was a serious deal, and then and the place was packed. I mean, it was nothing like. Listen, I love Forest Park, but they're the only one that comes close to it. And well, the obviously the charity tournaments are huge.
Yeah.
So lean
Absolutely.
toward that. I mean, give it a reason to be out there.
Yeah. I mean, since we're talking about tournaments, let's kind of change the subject back to how we started about your eggs tournament. I know you had a big meeting today, and I know John Doss was on here earlier asking questions, but tell us a little bit about, I know what went on today, but tell us, some of the people, what you were trying to do and how you're trying to kind of promote the eggs tournament and what changes you're trying to make for next year.
Well, here's what I'd like to do, and the big deal is I want to take. I called the SSA and I told them I'd like to take my tournament, my brother's tournament, with my family name. They get 18 teams, 20 teams maybe, But you know what? And listen, I support it every year. I subsidize their fees so they can charge less, and it's fine. I mean, I like it, but I want to have something that means something now to my family, my brothers, the legacy and everything,
Sure.
and put some beef into the tournament to give it a reason for the 8 players and the 8 teams to come out and play. I mean, you don't get no Iowa teams. You don't get teams that hey, listen, there's some really very good Iowa teams that can come on and play the 8 tournaments and compete.
Yep.
And so what I did is I put together. I wanted to take it, and I'm taking it to Schaumburg this year. We reserved the dates. It's going to be a tournament that ends on a Saturday afternoon. Just like everybody would like to see it.
Yep.
I kept Sunday open for rain date, obviously,
Yep.
but I still needed some, a hook in there to get it going. So I met with Forest Park today about making it a qualifying tournament.
Yep.
So that would mean that any
Cool.
team, and you can look in the past, the major no gloves takes about 6, 8 teams every year.
Yep.
So what I'm trying to get accomplished here is, hey, if you want to get to the Forest Park major no gloves, you have to play in the Eggs tournament
Right.
as a qualifier because I want the 8 teams to be there to compete.
Right.
So the thing that I'm trying to do is get a qualifier or maybe another bid. And this is what's in front of the board there now. So if I can get a bid, which let's say the first 5 teams are going to be in the tournament anyway, that 6th team could be Iowa or it could be an unknown team that's
Yep.
coming into a tournament to play. And now, hey, listen, this will be the last tournament before the July 1st pickings of the teams.
Right.
So at the end of June, will give them an opportunity. Hey, listen, here's your last opportunity to play in an 8 tournament. It's a qualifier. It gives the bid out, and hey, if you're on the bubble and you're competing, why not play?
Right. Exactly. And I think it's a huge opportunity for those young teams. I know I got a call yesterday from Jackson Perry, and he was talking about 8 teams and growing the game. And I know we're going to have him on later on
Yep.
in the future, but it's a perfect opportunity for those teams. Maybe you get teams from Mount Greenwood, you get teams from Kennedy or Hamlin, or those 8 teams that are just starting out with an opportunity to play in this tournament. Probably at a lower cost than most of the major tournaments, and at the same time, a chance to play in the big, as we call it, the mega of 16-inch softball. I mean, I love the idea. I think John Doss was talking about the Saturday. He mentioned, I think, what was his question earlier, Donnie, about?
Let's see. Let me scroll up for a sec. We've got some good questions. Possibly going single elimination at Forest Park ending Saturday. Could be a huge Saturday.
Yeah. So, I mean, talking about the old days, Ray, I mean, how many single elimination tournaments did we used to play back in the old days?
Oh my God, I'd be one and done, and even I remember that they put you in the losers consolation bracket.
Right.
Yeah.
My
Right.
brother used to always tell me, he goes, Ray, you guys are 2 at a barbecue, enjoy yourself.
Right.
I mean, that was,
You
but
know,
Jimmy, you had to play it.
yeah.
You know what? You had to get better. You had to play them.
Absolutely, and I think nowadays with there's just so much going on in this world that people don't want to be at a softball field 3 or 4 days in a weekend. It's just you see it time and time again. The bigger tournaments are 1 day single elimination tournaments now.
Yeah,
Um,
and if you are going to run this tournament like this, these tournaments like this, like the eight no gloves with Eggs, but you end it on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. We talked about, hey, bring a car show out there. There's
yep,
ideas out there. Bags tournaments. I mean, there's so much. I'm going to get JDRF involved. It's the
yep,
Diabetes Association for
yep,
Kids.
yep.
I'm going to have them as a charity. We're going to put a lot of money into this tournament. I want it to be something that people come out to and, hey, you know what? That's a great tournament to play in. We got to play in it.
Right, yeah, and I
Even
agree.
like
I mean,
people that don't even have that's what I noticed. Kind of going back to the Papa Hops thing. People that aren't even playing or don't have anybody associated with playing in the tournament still coming out and watching and kind of having a fun time, and that's something that we really don't have, right? We don't have that
You know,
correlation for everybody.
Jimmy, you remember, I mean, I remember as a kid, I mean, going out there watching those games, they had all those old guys around the back of the backstops and, the betting that would go on between them. And one guy would stand up and say, hey, he's going to cut over third. He's going to cut the ball over third. Next thing you know, the guy cuts over third. Like, hey, those guys know exactly what was
oh
going on.
yeah,
I missed that. I learned a lot of the game back
Oh
there
yeah,
Yeah.
because those guys knew the games, and it would be a pleasure to see people come out just to like the Papa Hops, like the Dana
Yeah.
charities you did. They have them come out and just watch the game and sit there and enjoy it. I mean, isn't that what
yeah.
it's all about? I mean, really
I
enjoying the game.
I
I mean,
agree. I mean,
you know,
what you're saying about this A tournament, if you started either Thursday or Friday night and you ended under the lights on Saturday, I think would be fantastic. I know we talked about doing a car show. I mean, who better than to do a car show than yourself, right? I mean, it's just brings
right?
more people
Right.
to the park. You could have bag tournaments. We talked about a lot of different ideas, but those are the type of things that I think we need to bring to the game to enhance or grow the game.
Right.
Bringing people to the park to watch the game in person is different than watching it on a live
Oh,
feed, and
Yeah.
you know that. So
without a doubt. Listen, you could have 20,000 people on a live feed.
That would be
You want to be at the game. I mean, I'm telling you. You know
right,
what? And Donnie, I got to tell you. I mean, and having a young, you got to get these young guys involved.
yeah.
And I'm glad they have Scotty and Keenan, Donnie, like yourself.
Yeah.
I told Adam today. I said, Schaumburg has 5 lit fields, all with electricity available.
Cool.
And I told him, I said, I want to see you guys go out there and broadcast the Eggs tournament from there.
oh
I mean,
yeah,
get Forest Park's involved and get everybody involved. What's the difference? The Hall of
so
Fame. I mean, yeah,
yeah, no, I mean, Donnie and I have got some ideas down the line that we want to mic up players and do
Yeah.
things like that, just do different stuff, and
yeah. Wouldn't that be
I know.
cool? I mean,
It's just something different, right? I mean, we see it on TV, but I mean, why not, right? I mean, it's. Can you imagine Donnie mic'd up against me in a game?
Be
Like,
awesome.
it'd be awesome.
Be
You know
hitting
what
a
I
yeah,
double or something off Jimmy.
yeah.
mean? Right, exactly.
And
And
and listen, and you don't want to mic me up, coach in third, okay? So,
I think that would be awesome.
but
I think
I'll tell you what though,
maybe
seriously though, we were talking today, Forest Park with a budget with broadcasting, park districts have those budgets.
yeah.
right,
You could put a $20,000 budget up there, introduce new cameras, new feeds, new things. I told Donnie, the future of here, Jimmy, think of a replay at first
Yeah.
base.
Yeah. That's
Seriously,
huge.
going back behind the dugout. I mean,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? I go, this could be happening, and you want to be on the forefront of it. You don't want to be on the back looking back.
right,
You want to
right,
be there at the beginning, and and that's what I'm looking forward to. That's why we're excited for the game still, Jim.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
You're the same way. I mean,
100%.
we're in it for what reason? I mean, shit, it's not because I like, I'm going to go watch a freaking game all day. We're here because we want to grow this thing and to bring new ideas to the games, So,
Absolutely. And nowadays, with the way social media is and mics and this, that, and another technology, I keep telling Donnie and Adam, I says when they're doing announcing the game, they should have me out on the sideline, saying how it looks from out there,
honest
all
to God,
Jimmy,
mic'd up.
Jimmy, we would get what you would call canceled if
well,
that happened.
so what
Ah,
happened? Donnie, the problem is the beeps would be out there too many times, and it would be like Jimmy's on the mound and him and Scotty are going at it. It
yeah,
doesn't work.
yeah. No,
So
not when I'm playing. I'm just saying I'd be the
yeah, right,
I'd be like
right.
doing live interviews from the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
During
you know
Fort
I'm
what?
Park.
sure that's
So
what somebody wants after they fly out to left field is Uncle Jimmy parading them.
Right. Yeah,
but
but
those are the type of ideas that Adam and Donnie need. They need a little
Yeah.
spice in them, and I'm
We
the
got,
spice
we
to
got
it.
the ideas. We were supposed to do it last year and go and be mic'd up, but I was losing the game and we needed to be focused a little bit. But we'll get there. I think we've got some good ideas.
see, Jimmy,
Yeah.
he's still thinking about winning a game. I mean,
See?
come on, you're supposed to be thinking about talking, not winning
Oh
a
yeah.
game, right?
No, but I wouldn't be playing in the game. I would just be the guy on the sideline, just you know. I guess you want to say listening that I'm on the live stream and then barking in when I need to, like saying
Uh-huh.
that this guy's going to cut the ball because I know he's going to cut it or drive left center.
Yeah.
You
Right,
just kind of
right.
make fun of Donnie and
Yeah,
Adam.
Yeah.
it's
So
very simple. It's a very simple thing. Ray, what else? What else do you want to potentially bring to this? I know we talked about the tournaments and your influence with Forest Park and potentially getting a couple A teams bids. What else you got
You
going on?
know what, Donnie and Jimmy, the thing is that, if I could get this going and growing the games, and if I could bring 6 or 8 teams from Iowa,
Yeah.
to me, that's bringing another segment into this game that needs a jolt.
yeah,
Yeah.
Again, you got the same 18 teams, same 15 teams. Let's get some teams in here that really want to compete and have a reason to compete and make Chicago softball like it was. I mean, years ago, it was only the ASA, remember back then, and you know what, no matter what it was, whatever the reasons, whatever happened, listen, it was a reason the kids still played the game. They didn't care if it, like now, they don't care if it's ASA,
Want to
SSA,
play?
Hall of Fame. They want to play the game.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, you know, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to, who cares what league we're playing? We want to play. I
Well,
mean, and that's, you know,
yeah,
that's the whole
Yeah.
point.
yeah, and I
Good.
think what you're doing, I think it might attract people, out of Mount Greenwood or Kennedy to take that drive from the south side or even from the north side to take that drive to Schaumburg. I mean, the cool thing about Schaumburg, it's right off the highway, 5 fields.
Yeah.
If you end that thing in 2 days, you do Friday, Saturday, end it under light Saturday night. I mean, you would get more teams to play. I mean,
You know,
you're
wouldn't
not
it be
giving away your
nice?
whole weekend.
Wouldn't it be nice to see a team from Mount Greenwood or Niles or
Yeah.
Park Ridge or somewhere Glenview that hey they're going to be in the major no gloves. I
Yeah.
mean it'll give these teams an opportunity that they never had before.
Yep. Yep.
So
No, I agree. And I know Papa Hops is a huge factor, but at the
yep,
same time, you know, to get your exposed to major softball it's a different element. You know that.
yeah. I mean, listen, when it comes down to charities or something like that, too, you get the Diabetes Foundation, and people, people give their hearts. I'm telling you, softball community is unbelievable when it comes to that. They play from their heart, they give from their heart. I mean, and they might not have it, but you know what, they give it anyway. And I got to be for around this game a long time. These friends are. It doesn't matter what part of the city you're from or what suburb. You're all friends out there in the softball community. So
Well, really
Most of
quick, and we're talking really fast. I saw Adam here. He put on there that he asked someone to do a sideline reporter. Adam, first off, you didn't ask me. There's no one better than Uncle Jimmy. But that guy, the guy you asked, probably, I probably know who it was. You much rather have me, my friend. So, but
Daddy, seriously, can you imagine this? Oh my God! I got to get the microphones for you guys because we got even better cameras because we really got to get this out
oh
there.
yeah,
We need the true
Yeah,
faces,
I
everybody, right?
agree. I agree.
So,
oh yeah,
These are the faces people want to see.
right. I'm telling you, this is, what you're doing. Honestly, I mean, this is
Yeah.
long, long from happening before. I mean, we should have did it years ago. I'm glad Jimmy. We became great friends
oh
over this, and
yeah,
Pete's got some ideas. John Doss is 100% behind us.
Yeah.
yep,
I mean, it's nice to see that from
yep.
some leaders out there.
Absolutely. No, I agree, and I think even Patty Caputo, he does so much for the game. I know,
Yep.
the whole thing with them, but I mean, I just think in general, Patty's a great guy. I mean, you got John Dawson. I mean, if we all just put our heads together, how much better we can literally improve everything that we do. And I think people are asking for a change. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's
I,
got to happen. And I think maybe it starts with a tournament like yourself. I mean, 5 diamonds.
That's
There's
big.
no reason why you have to come back on Sunday,
I mean,
unless it
can you imagine?
rains.
Hey, I'm just looking for Donnie and Adam to be running from field to field on 5 diamonds. I mean, I
It's
want to see
like the
that.
grounds crew.
Right,
Yeah,
Donnie will be standing in the middle of the outfield.
Jeez.
Okay, where we're going,
that's
But
right.
seriously, if you took all the associations, Jimmy and Donnie, if you took them all, and if they all sat down and forgot their egos, left them at the door, you would come out with a hell of a freaking
Well,
group of people that are on the same direction, really.
not only that, but for what you do too for the game. And I want to say thank you because I know you were a big supporter, you and your son of the Dana Strong. I didn't get a chance to. I know I told you privately, but it kind of means more publicly. I know you were a huge supporter of us, and the family definitely was a huge thank you. So that I can't thank you enough. So I know they can't thank you enough, and it was awesome what you did. So
Yeah, no, thank you.
getting back to the mics and stuff for Donnie and I think that would be incredible. I think I could tear up Donnie like nobody's business.
Hey,
So
it was. I said that. I made one of my first comments was I had to do it because you guys were doing it at Forest Park, and I'm like, come on, you got to have a little better
yeah,
microphone, better.
we
Donnie's got a great. I got a great picture of Donnie right now, so he's showing that young face off and me and Jimmy are a little darker here. We're like the old guys,
Jimmy got a haircut for this reason right
right?
now.
dude.
There you go, right? So,
I'm looking, dude. I'm looking good with this
Uh,
haircut.
Jimmy,
yeah, but you know what? I look forward to helping and sponsor whatever we could do, and whatever we can get back to the game, and and help it. That's the whole key, So I'm
Yep.
just happy to be around and be a part of it and be able to do, support it like I can.
Hey, I mean, when we have the final answer, from what you discussed today with Forest Park, I mean, please share it with
Yeah.
us. We'd love to. I know Donnie and I are going to help with you next year with that tournament. Whatever you guys need, and we're here to support it, and we'll hopefully continue to grow it. I mean, if we can get that car show, that would be
That'd be
Oh my
incredible
God.
out
cool.
there.
I think, while you do something like that, and the young guys like that kind of stuff too. They like the bags tournaments.
Yep.
There's some great ideas. You guys had some great ideas there, and
Yep.
I don't know, is this going to be like the shooter channel? Because once Donnie and you start playing with us, I guess that it's going to be the shooter network, right?
Well, if
So
I play with you, what position Donnie going to play? Is he
yeah,
going to be scoreboard?
right,
All right,
okay. All
Jimmy,
right,
aren't you
well,
gonna play left field?
that,
Dude, I'm quick in the outfield. Don't
Yeah,
test me.
yeah.
yeah,
See,
So,
yeah.
but
Ray,
Donnie, believe it, we played the outfield at one time in our careers. So
Jimmy was still chiseling stone when he was in the outfield.
oh,
that's it.
I don't think I've ever played the outfield once in my life, other than a couple innings. So
That's
Yeah,
it. When we were up by 20 runs, go out there and
yeah,
play left field with you.
yeah. I
So
played center field one time this year against Iron, and I think Iron didn't realize I was in center until 2 outs, and then they started trying to hit the
yeah,
ball to me.
right. So,
So,
true.
that's what I would say. But
One.
Ray, I ask every Donnie before I ask my question. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have any other questions for
Yeah,
Ray?
no, he's pretty much covered every base. So we've got. I was gonna ask if Keenan Connolly's the best player in 16-inch softball.
Oh yeah.
Keenan Conley?
Yeah,
Yeah, no. So family, man. What can I say? I go, married my daughter, so I got to be careful there. But
Wait,
he's a game. Hey, he's a gamer, man.
at family parties, does he call you? Does he call you Ray? Does he call you
Oh
Coach?
no,
What
no,
What does he call?
it's only Ray now. I mean, it's it's like you think he'd change it. No, he's Listen, Conley's so serious when it plays. I got to laugh at him
Yeah,
sometimes because it's so.
he's a gamer.
Right.
Hey,
No,
you're up by 10 runs. Would you relax?
Yeah,
I
Jesus.
like the kid. I've called the kid. I think the last 2 years. I ain't gonna lie. I would love to play with the kid. I mean,
Yeah.
he's definitely, from what I've seen, he's continuing to improve every
awesome.
single year. So
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's a fun to watch them and, to see the kids grow like this. I mean, Jimmy, this is what we're here
yep,
for. I mean, give them the opportunity to play in, top tournaments and top leagues and, stuff that we didn't have the chance when we were first starting,
right.
and, you give these guys the opportunity. They love it. I mean, to be on the stage, you want to be on that stage on Sunday, every tournament,
Yep. It's the
So,
only reason why I play. That's
right.
it.
Right.
So, but like I mentioned, the last question I always ask every
There we
guest that we
go.
have on the show.
Keenan Conley.
You've had a ton of ideas and brought up a ton of stuff. So this might be easy for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if there was one thing in softball right now that you'd like to change to improve the game, what would it be?
I'd like to see a little bit more exciting tournaments. I mean, to me, you got to come out with a new something that is going to bring the players, bring the fans, and yeah, I think what you want to do is something like we talked about earlier to get the car shows, to get bag tournaments, to get a band out there on a Friday night, Saturday night to
Right.
give it more of a to bring your girlfriends to there, not just come there by yourself. In the old days, how many divorces came because, they played all weekend and it was all
Yeah.
softball.
Yeah.
To give
Right.
them a reason to, make it a family atmosphere. I mean, to me, and the other thing is if I could, if there was a way to get the organizations together, man, that would be like something that, I'd love to see happen because, bottom line, when it comes down to it, the guys up on top, they really want to do the right thing for softball. And,
Yep.
if they could, like I said, the Eagles could get put away somewhere, it would be a hell of an organization to be run for
Yeah.
softball.
And I think everything you bring up is, great points, and I think word of mouth, right? I
Oh,
mean, think about it.
yeah,
It's almost like I treat it like looking at a bar, right? I mean, you go to a bar and your buddies walk in and they see, the bar's crowded and there's people there and you're having a good time. I mean, think about how many times you go out and you tell your buddies, "Hey, I was at this place Friday night and it was incredible.
right,
Like there was
right,
people out there, I had a blast."
yep,
Well, that makes a difference, and that's how things start. It's not just we can't just do it one time or two times and say, "Oh, it doesn't
right,
work," right? It's something that you got to build, and I think that's where people I think have to really understand. It's not we're going to have one tournament on a Saturday night end, and then all of a sudden it's going to be more people. And it's not about that. It's about building to what players want to see. And I think more time, if we did that and we could continuously do it year over year, you're going to see more people stay at the field and hang out and
Right.
socialize, and you'll see more people from the outside world start coming in too, because it's an event now. I mean, think Forest
Cool.
Park, Friday,
It's a cool
Saturday
thing to
night.
do.
I mean, you know what? When they have it down pat. I mean, and look at the Papa Hops. I mean, there's a tournament, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about getting the community involved. You know, if you start doing this and reach out to the community and have a charity deal and have a reason to come out, you know, people want to go out and have a good time. You know,
Yeah.
and who doesn't want to watch a good softball game? I mean, seriously. I mean, you know, you got two competitive teams playing, and you know, you're there having a beer or popcorn or a hot dog or whatever
Right.
with your neighbors on a Friday night. I mean, you know,
I mean, I was telling this to someone earlier this week. It's like they put bags, cornhole, whatever you want to call it, on TV. I mean, and it's popular.
yeah,
There's no reason why we can't get or cut a deal somewhere down the road if we can make the game popular like they used to back in the old days
right.
with Sports Vision. I mean, we know enough people between all the people in them, either in media or just in business. I got friends that work for ESPN. I've got
Yeah.
people that work for ABC, NBC that I personally know just through the bank.
I,
So,
I think you're in the right direction, and that's why I was telling Donnie last year over the summer about sticking with this thing with Forest Park, because when you do have a budget, you can take this to the next level. You get a few
right,
sponsors, Jimmy. It's not that hard.
right,
You know, Melbourne put it together, and you know, there's more Melbournes out there. You know,
right.
there really is. I mean, you know, you get people around, and you know, they want to put out there. You can put this game on media, you know, a media station, and
Oh
you know
yeah,
what? It can be easier than it was years ago when it was a lot tougher. You
oh
know,
yeah,
with those guys. So,
oh yeah.
but you could get it on definitely on one of the cable stations and start doing some games. You know,
Yeah,
so
no, for sure. I mean, and honestly, that's how it grows. And I always talk about getting out to the younger,
right.
the younger kids.
Then you got to see Donnie live though, you know, on TV.
Yeah, there goes the viewers right
Yeah,
now.
you have to get the makeup out there in front beforehand and that. But no, you know, seriously, I'd love to see it go, and you know what, to bring it back onto the TV stage. You know what? That could be the next step. I mean,
That'd be awesome.
It'll definitely take time, but at
yeah,
the same time, there's great ideas. It's just it takes time to do everything, and I think we have enough supporters of the game. I think that's not the issue. I just think that people need to now start putting their words into action. And, this is one of the reasons why Donnie and I started to do what we're doing, is because we want to get the word out there. I mean, I've got a ton of friends on Facebook that are not a part of the softball world, and people ask me all the time, what does that show you do on Facebook? Like,
you
you
know,
know what I mean? Like, it's funny because people don't understand what we talk about, right?
right.
I live in a community, and more than 95% of the community's never even heard of 16 in softball or even know what it is.
Yeah,
So, that they don't know and they have no idea. And it's just funny because I'm sure everyone around by you, other than the 500 people that play softball, no one has a clue who won Forest Park this year.
you know,
So,
right.
Ray, really,
Exactly.
really quick, Andrew Doss is texting me on the side saying he's going to call you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tell him I'll be
He's
waiting.
been
Right.
commenting wild things this entire stream, just to maybe get at you a little bit, Ray.
I
But
heard they wanted me to, you know, paint my walls shooters, and they're all over the
yeah.
place. I know
he
everything's
wants
on there up there, but
Stephen A. Smith. I saw
he
that comment.
said he'll call you as soon as he lays off the fireball tonight,
you know
Ray.
what though, Jimmy? You're right. You got to get back into the bar scenes. You know, get these bars back involved in it.
Yeah.
And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Getting out. You know, these kids like to go to the places and go have a few beers and stuff. And you know, the bars are willing to give out money if you want to be supportive
Yeah.
too. So, you
I
know,
mean,
there's
and that's how you bring the community in, right? I mean, that's just
exactly.
the way it is.
You
So,
know, so
Ray, that was awesome, man.
yeah,
you guys are best. You know.
That was really good stuff.
yeah, Ray.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate your time. I know Donnie and I are going to talk a little bit here, really quick, about our rumor mill that we always do on every show
Yeah.
now, and then that's about it. I appreciate it. Well, really quick, I guess, before we let you go, what
Yeah.
questions do you have for Donnie and I? We always
Yeah.
ask our guests that as well.
No, are you guys like, is Keenan going to Hex or something? Now I got to worry about Scotty and Keenan.
I haven't texted him yet this year, so let me see.
Scotty and Keenan in a package deal or something,
Yeah.
right? Hey, send me a bunch of your 16-inch balls. We'll be fine, man. Don't worry about it. I'll take a bag of balls. So, but no, you guys, listen. I'm supportive of you guys. Like I said, we'll talk, later on when we get more time about, updating the cameras and really getting to the next level with microphones and that. We can do that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
and you know what? Taking your game to the fields, there's nothing wrong with that. And miking up Donnie on a game. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what you're
Oh,
saying. I think
oh
it'd
yeah.
be
No,
awesome to do
I
that.
think Donnie's going to do a live broadcast and he's going to
We're
mic
doing
me
it.
up
We're
on the
doing it.
mound.
There you go,
So
right?
that's kind of what our future plan is, just to see how it works. But we need to get the equipment to do it. So
You know.
we'll
Let's put a
see.
camera on the. Hey, good idea. Put the camera on the catcher so we could double check balls and strikes, right? So, right.
What do you mean? 16-inch softball umps are the best in the world.
But they are. There's nobody better, baby. No better umpires out there in our 16-inch guys. So, all right.
All right, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
I
Hey,
appreciate that.
you got it, guys. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it, and keep
Thank
doing it.
you.
You're doing a great job, man.
We'll be
You're
in
the
touch,
best.
Ray.
You
Thank
You're
you.
the
got it.
man, Ray. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Andrew Doss tagged his favorite umpire, Rich Hennessy, in the comments.
Oh, that's awesome. Rich Hennessy's one of the best. So just to
That
recap, I mean,
was great.
what an awesome dude, huh?
He's the best.
And honestly, even at his age and the amount of softball he's been a part of, I
Yeah.
think he's got a lot of great ideas, and to have someone like that behind what we're trying to do, what everyone in the softball world's trying to do, I think is huge, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
If he can see the vision and with someone that he's got some power, right? If he can see the vision, if he sees it working, and he's willing to put his own kind of time and money into that,
right.
that's all we need. Adam Cumby's been roasting me in the comments this entire time.
Yeah, has he?
Yeah, we need to start. Can we start blocking people on this
Yeah,
channel, Jim?
we can easily block Adam. That's not a
We
problem.
definitely got to throw some blocks
I
out
mean,
after the
think
show.
about it, dude. We can easily block. He has Gio to be a sideline reporter over Uncle Jimmy. I mean, come on. The fans much rather hear Uncle Jimmy on the sidelines than Gio. All right. But either way, let's not talk about that. Let's get into, well, really quick, before we get into our rumor mill.
Yeah.
We did have the 50 and over nationals this weekend. So
Yeah.
I do want to throw a shout out to, I believe they're called the Old Ballers.
Okay.
They actually won, I believe, the 50 and over
Cool.
national.
That's awesome.
So congrats to them. I did not see who won the MVP, but I believe, and I don't quote me on this, but I think it was someone who used to play on the Young Guns, if I'm correct.
Okay.
The old Young Guns back in the day. So congrats to those guys. I think Thunder also, I heard at over 50, played like 6 or 7 games or something on Sunday.
It's a lot for people under 50.
Yeah, yeah, I know. So, support them. I heard it was a great weekend, and I heard the support to Pat Caputo. Patty's one of my buddies. I like Patty.
Love it.
He's always been awesome to me, and what they did for him. I know that one of the teams went out there and supported him. I thought that was really cool too.
Definitely.
So.
That's awesome. I mean, to give somebody some recognition is definitely Patty deserves it. He's been around the game. He's been involved. It's well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. So that leads us into
What do you got, Jim?
rumor mill.
Anything fun?
Huh?
You got anything fun for me for rumor mill?
Yeah, so I believe it's public knowledge now that Mr. Marty Dozen is now on the Moneyline team. So that was a huge move from what I heard, and I heard that Meatball City went ahead and picked up Ian.
Yeah.
So
From
the
Future.
Sauce team, I believe that's out there publicly out there, or from Future. You're correct. So those were two big things that I heard this week. Obviously, we talked about Alonji the Circus and those guys. Some other things I know that's out there as well. I know that there's certain teams just like our Hex team looking to pick people up as well. I know that we picked up a couple guys so far from what I've been told. We had 4 guys leave our team and go to March Impact.
Yep.
So that's something that I think March Impact's going to be improved.
Is that confirmed with March Impact?
That's just rumor. So
That's rumor.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't really know fact, but like I said, it's rumor. So
it's a rumor mill. That's why
Yeah,
we're
it's
here.
rumor mill. That,
It's
and everything we say doesn't have to be true. It's just what we're
yeah,
hearing on the street. So,
yep,
and if people are being secretive, I mean that's okay. I mean it is what it is. That's why it's called rumor mill.
yeah. I heard about Marty. 'Cause I'm really good friends with those Meatball City guys, and he wants to go back and play with Dad and Uncle, and that's cool, right?
Yeah,
We don't fault him for that.
and I don't even think the Meatball City guys were upset. I mean they understand. I mean his
You gotta
father.
kind of you
Yeah,
understand, right? He wants
yeah,
to, and Moneyline had a great year too. So
right,
I don't know if that's basis of his decision, right? I think he would go
right,
regardless, probably. Marty's a loyal guy, though. I like Marty a lot. He's a good
right.
dude and
But I heard the kid that Meatball picked up from Futures, a really
good.
nice player, young
Yeah, he's
player.
very good.
I didn't really know him. I don't really know him. I haven't really seen him very much, but from what I've been told by multiple people, that he's a really nice player.
Yep,
So good to
yep, he's
them.
good.
I know that a couple guys from, I believe, either Impact, they're possibly going to land on a top 3 or 4 team. So
Yep,
that's a huge pickup as well.
yep.
So I
I
mean,
got
there's some things going out there that are
so
people are talking about.
I know we talked about some of the Dynasty guys going to Circus last week. I've got a rumor mill that Dynasty may try and stay
No,
together. Like
oh,
they're trying to
well,
maybe keep some of those guys together and still play. Like Dynasty isn't, they play once a week at Forest Park. No Melrose for them. Very limited tournaments. So it's not very, I guess, strenuous, right?
yeah.
It's something that those guys can still kind of commit to and still play and still be competitive. A lot of those guys are still competitors through and through. They want to play too. So,
Right.
Losing those two guys, they may just try to replace somebody, but they might want to stay together. And
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what I was.
Dynasty's been around for, I believe,
Yeah.
for 10 plus
Yeah.
years
Long time.
now. If I can remember,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm old, so it's hard to remember things,
Yeah.
but they're always, I feel like they lose a couple players and then they kind of reload a little bit, and then they
Yep.
lose a couple players and then they reload. So if they do stay together, I think it's great for the game, and they're probably going to go the younger route, would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then that's awesome for them. So, the March Impact thing, like I mentioned earlier, I think to have another team take that step forward, I think will be good.
Yeah.
I know I've heard their names around many players, not just the 4 that left us, but many players in general. So, I mean,
To improve. Yeah. Everybody
yeah,
wants to improve,
if
right?
they can improve their team, great. I know that. We're looking to make big strides. So obviously we want to get back into the top 3, as you can imagine. It's something that we want to do to compete for tournaments. So hopefully we can do that as well, and we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see how this year goes. I mean, most of the stuff is usually locked up before November 1st.
Right.
So
So we got some stuff coming up that we'll definitely be able to kind of harp on. Once stuff gets official, we'll be able to talk on it a little bit more. We don't want to put somebody in a bad spot because Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie are saying crazy
yeah,
stuff on the show.
yeah, I know.
We'll talk
Like
about
I
stuff
said,
that's
it's
kind of
it's only
confirmed.
about what we hear.
Yeah.
It's not fact or anything like that. We're not saying anything we're saying is true, but at the same time, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I did hear in the rumor mill too that possibly Ricky Davis might go to Moneyline and things like that too. So that could be an option. I mean, I don't know if that's fact or not, but
Loading
that's something that's
money
out
line
there.
loading up again.
Yeah,
It could be a really, really
I mean, the
good team.
Moneyline, if they're going to make some moves, I could see them taking the next step. I thought they had a top 4 finish. They already got a bye at
Yep.
Forest Park.
Yep.
So I think they're going to be the 4 seed. So I mean, they can make big moves, and they're only going to get better. I mean, they have one of the better and up and coming players in my mind, at least, Chris Stout. I think he's by
Stud.
far one of the better players that is up and coming.
Very
Um,
handsome. Very handsome.
well, you have a man crush on him.
Of course. I have a man crush on a couple guys out there.
Nice, nice,
I'll
nice. Well,
slowly reveal
yeah.
them.
Okay, that works. So, before we hop off here, when are you leaving for the Dells?
I'm leaving Friday in the afternoon.
Okay.
I'll be out on there Friday night. Maybe we'll get together. We'll get together out there and see what
Yeah,
happens.
for sure. I know that the schedule came out
Oh
today. I
yeah,
believe he's got 9 teams, which is awesome. I
that's great.
I saw I saw an Iowa team, Hall of Fame's out there, which is cool.
Oh,
Yeah, I think. I mean, it says HOF, so I'm guessing it's Hall of Fame from Iowa, which is awesome.
that's
Um,
cool.
there's that ATM team's a young team, I believe, from the north side that
Yep.
usually always
Yep.
plays. Iron's out
Yep.
there. I know, our team's out there. So there'll be some competitive teams.
Yeah.
I know Splash has a team.
Splash. I was going to say Splash is in our little division there.
Yeah. So it should be interesting, and I know it's always fun just getting away and bringing the family and the kids, and they all love each other. So it's always fun. I appreciate
We
you. I appreciate you babysitting the kids, Donnie, on Friday night.
I'll do it, Jimmy. I'll do whatever you
Yeah. So that's incredible. I already told my wife she's free to go out. We're gonna go out and party, and Donnie's gonna watch the kids.
like.
So it's
What else would I be doing?
yeah. I mean, it's awesome. I couldn't ask for a better co-host in my life.
That's right.
So you know.
Yeah, this was a good show.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. So, any questions you have, you want to ask me, or
No, I
anything that
think
you want to know?
let's open up the Facebook, and I want you guys to follow the Facebook for sure and share the videos. We want to get the likes, and we want more people to follow so we can reach more audience, and we want to grow this page as much as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. I think last I checked, we were over 300 likes already, and it's only been a couple weeks. So, hopefully,
Really?
people get on the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie Facebook page and continue to like that thing and follow it and share it with friends and everything else. I mean, that's how we grow the game. So,
Let's ride. I'll see you this weekend, Jim.
all right, man. I appreciate it. Enjoy.
See you later.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.